All right, stretch drives, 6 games left, 3 at home, 3 on the road, and we play against an Auburn team that's, I think they're 6-6 in league play. Obviously, been in the top 10, 20 all year long. Have a dynamite backcourt, and that's something we're going to really have to contend with. Going to have to guard the perimeter. Okiki, I think he's a guy that really has gotten better, and of course the big kid Wiley they have inside. So it's a team that plays well at home. They have a good environment, and so it's a great opportunity for us and a challenge at the same time. One of the things I want to see us do is really value the basketball. One of the things we always talk about, the characteristics of our team, is that we defend, we try to create tempo, create turnovers, and we take care of the basketball. And the last two games especially, we've had a bunch of live ball turnovers that, in essence, I think has kind of turned the game, especially in the Mississippi State game. You know, for 20 minutes I thought we played well. Had some turnovers, but they were like more dead ball turnovers. But the live ball turnovers are ones you can't get back and you can't recover, and so what happens is you dig a hole in it for yourself. So that's something I'm looking for us to shore up with our basketball team. We're always talking about, you know, we're lacking in one area. We try to pick up something. You know, the rebounding has gotten better. I think we're defending at a pretty good pace. But now the things that got to take place is we got to take care of the basketball, and hopefully we can continue to, you know, create turnovers or create tempo with our defense.
Mike, I think the other night was the 6th straight game that the opponent's bench has outscored your bench. I know that's a stat you guys usually win. Just what do you think's going on there, and how tough has that been, and what do you got to do to maybe turn that back around?
Well, it's been pretty inconsistent. I think that's been the biggest, question mark. Biggest thing that with this basketball team, and of course, obviously you say that's from an experience. You know, guys understand their roles. I was sitting in on Coach Richardson and I and Corey Beck, we sat down and we were kind of watching the Final Four team that won a national championship 25 years. We obviously were having a reunion with that group, and one of the things that, you know, we talked about how hard, you know, you're looking at it, how hard we played, but how well connected we were. But everybody understood their roles. They understood their role. So the guys that were coming off, man, they brought what they brought to the table, and they brought it from a consistent standpoint. You know, but you look at some of those guys; they were older guys. They were much more mature. They understood the game, and so when I look at our team, and you look at the guys that are coming off. You know, let's say Desi comes off the bench. You got Keyshawn coming off the bench, Reggie Chaney, and we've seen the potential in these guys. You know, but this is a time of year where it's got to be consistent. And because, you know, our guys that are starting out, they're playing a lot of minutes. And I think right now we're seeing the results of that. You know, when our bench produces, I think we got much more balance on our basketball team. And so I think that's going down the stretch. Our bench, we're going to have to rely on them. But it's been pretty inconsistent throughout the year.
You look at the second half over the last 2 weeks. Do you think fatigue is starting to catch up with the guys? Because you mentioned the minutes they're playing.
Well, that's what I just said. I just think, you know, because, you know, decision making is a big key, especially, you know, we talk about being a second half team. We see our team come out, and I think, you know, our kids are playing defending. They're doing really good things. But I think in that second half, that last 10 minutes, we always talk about. I thought maybe, you know, at some point in time, you know, fatigue will make a coward out you, and sometimes maybe it goes against us, and so that's why our bench has got to be critical. I think in these next 6 games, we got to get them out there, and they got to go out there and play and continue to play through their mistakes. But hopefully, they're somebody that give us a lift. We've seen Gabe where he come in and give us some big lift. We saw that at LSU. We saw Keyshawn came off the bench and gave us a big lift. We've seen where Desi come in. We've seen Reggie come in and just have a real impact on the game. And so we've got to have more of those moments from those guys, as well as the guys that are starting out. They got to get us off to a good start.
Live ball turnovers. When you look back at the tape, was it more of the guys trying to move too quick and getting a little too sloppy? Maybe what was some of the causes?
Well, I thought actually we weren't. You know, it's funny because I thought the execution in the first half. I mean, the ball was moving, people were moving. I thought in the second half it was a little more stagnant. And so as it got stagnant, I thought we got a little our decision making wasn't very good. We go in, and most of it was off penetration. We penetrate, leave our feet, and just make bad decisions. I think and the thing about it is hard to recover from those kind of turnovers, and it's something we hadn't been doing all year long. So all of a sudden now it kind of rears its head, and we got to address it. Again, that's something that we thrive on doing, and so we've got to make sure our guys understand. And we had 3 guys, I think, with 5 guys with at least 3 turnovers, and I don't think that's happened all year long.
Auburn's been a little bit up and down recently. Ole Miss went in there and held them to 55 last week. What have you seen from what they're doing right now?
Well, they got some of the same personnel, and I think in that particular game you're talking about, they didn't shoot the ball well, and Ole Miss had something to do with that. I don't think their big kid played. I don't think Wiley played in that game, but they're a team that obviously they want to score, they want to get up and down the floor, they shoot the ball well, extremely well at home. But it's the same team, and you think about that. But obviously, teams are. Our league is really good. Our league is really good. No matter where you play, whether it be at home or on the road, it's pretty good.
Bruce was unsure about Wiley. What are you expecting about
He'll play. I'm sure he'll play.
Yeah, I think he played like 9 or 10 minutes of Vandy, so maybe he's having to play his way back into shape. But do you see that as a possible advantage for you with Daniel inside if they don't have Wiley can't play a lot of minutes?
No, I don't see that. We played them last year. They didn't have him at that particular time. They got Spencer. The Okiki kid has really improved. And, of course, you got Spencer down there and McLemore. So you got some of the premier shot blockers in our league. I don't think that'll change how they play.
As far as just one, defending their three-point shot, and 2, just if they start hitting them, how hard is it not to try and counter and get into kind of a three-point contest with them as far as, ignoring the inside game?
I think we got to have some balance. I think we got to be able to hopefully guard their perimeter. We got to mix and match our defense. We can't be predictable on defense. I think that's got to be a big key. But the key is you got to play to win. I think we got to play to what our strengths are and what's working. If Daniel's an advantage at size, we got to work that. But I want to move him around. But I think we can hopefully create some situation where we can take advantage of it. That's from the guard standpoint and the perimeter standpoint. And inside.
Going back to Saturday, when Gabe has a rough stretch where he comes in, I think he committed 3 turnovers. And I think the first couple minutes he was on the floor. What do you do or say to him to kind of instill some confidence in him?
Just clean it up. That's all. I thought his passes were kind of, when I call that, is telegraph. You're looking where you're throwing the basketball. So guess what? If I'm a defender, I'm gonna look where you're looking at. And I thought it was easy for them to do that. And then I think a couple of them, a guy cut his route out. So I think from that standpoint, you got to have, you want to remember it, but you want to have short-term memory and go out and do the things you've been doing all year long to help your team win. Because I think Gabe is no question about it. He's an impact player for us coming off the bench.
Mike, I think they're averaging almost 33s a game, attempted. I think they shot over 40 against Missouri. And at times, the other SC coaches said they've got 5 guys on the floor that can all knock down a 3. What kind of challenges does that present when they're so reliant on the 3?
Well, obviously you got to be there with them because they can shoot the basketball. It spreads your floor, and now you're vulnerable for attacks. And so we've got to, without a doubt, we got to be in constant contact, talking on defense, communicating, making sure they shoot contested shots, not wide open shots. And when you got a guy like Brown, his range is pretty unlimited. The Harper kid, he's a guy that can shoot it and get to the basket. So they present a lot of problems in terms of what they bring to the table. The Downey kid, he's a pretty good shooter too. So I think our guys have heads got to be on a swivel, and we've got no question about it. We got to make them drivers, and then at the same time build a wall where we can rebound and hopefully take advantage of the open floor.
And you're talking about watching film with Corey and Coach Richardson. Do you remember about, was that recently or a while back? And with the bench, they're young guys. A lot of times young guys will kind of hit a wall because they're not used to all these practices and games. Are you confident the bench can – you said they got to be key these last 6 games. Are you confident they can
I think
get
they can.
Going?
I think they're going to have to be because, like I said, we have guys they're not used to playing this many minutes, this many games. You think about even Daniel. Daniel probably played about 23, 24 minutes last year. Now all of a sudden now he's playing 28, 30 minutes, at the pace that we want him to play. A guy like Mason, Jalen Harris. And Isaiah Joe. I think he was at Northside playing, against Fayetteville High. Now he's out here playing, against some of the elite teams in the country. And so eventually he's going to hit a wall. We played 20 some odd games now? 25 games and practice and all that stuff. But they're young. They're resilient. They can bounce back. And so, but I still think the strength of our team is going to be guys coming off, giving us some quality, efficient basketball.
You're confident they can do that?
Oh, no question about it. I don't think I put them out there if I didn't think they could, Bob.
Anything else for Coach? Sorry, when was it you were watching film with Corey and Coach Richardson? Just trying to put a timeline. Last week, last month. I don't need the exact day.
Recently.
Recently, okay.
That's what I was trying to. Bob got his question, that's all.
That was it? He was helping Bob out? Recently, Bob. How about that? Thank you, guys.
I just don't want to